Alright, and hello everyone, it is me, Jay Burns, and in this tutorial, I'm going to be showing you how to make these bracelets right here. These bracelets are my own original designs, and they are called the Intertwined Hearts bracelets. Yeah, let me check the name. Yeah, I had a what should I name this bracelet video, so it's kind of like a little contest type thing, I guess. And I was taking suggestions for the name of this bracelet. It was going to be the Valentine bracelet, but instead I decided to ask everyone what I should name it. Oh my goodness. And the suggestion I chose was this one right here. It's a little bit blurry. And it is from Kaelynn Eay or A. I'm not sure how you pronounce that, but it was from her. And here is the name, the Intertwined Hearts bracelet. And, well, it was actually a really close match or call, I'm not sure what you would say for that, but between this one and the Lovely Link, but I did find another bracelet called the Love Link bracelet, and I just thought this was a little bit too close to that name, and I decided to go with the Intertwined Hearts because they're connected together and it's like they're intertwined together. I don't know, I like how it sounds, so that's what I chose. So anyway, I'm going to be showing you how to make this bracelet. And yeah, so to make this bracelet, you will need a hook. This is a hook only design. And you will also need a clip. I'm going to be using a C-clip, but any clip used to make rubber band bracelets will work. And we will also need rubber bands, of course. And as you can see here, we have three groups, the A, B, and C group, and I'm just going to go ahead and explain what each group is. So, these A rubber bands here, they are the rubber bands that make all of the little heart rubber bands. So, all the little heart rubber bands, so they make the little hearts. And also, they are in the middle of the bigger heart in the bracelet. But you can change this A color rubber band here in the middle to be the B color rubber band, which is the bigger hearts. So the B color rubber bands are the bigger hearts in the bracelet, and that is what you can change this middle rubber band to be the same color as, but that will affect how many of each type of rubber band you need, so you'll have to adjust that by yourself. But anyway, in the tutorial, this rubber band here in the middle will be called an A color rubber band. Right, then we also have the C color rubber band. They are all of the connector rubber bands, the rubber bands that connect all of the hearts together. And that's just something to help you remember. C color rubber band, connector rubber band, and B color rubber band, big heart rubber band. There's not really anything for the A rubber bands. Alright, so the C color rubber bands, they also include the first rubber band in your bracelet, which is the cap band. And they also include this extra rubber band, any extra rubber bands that you may add to your bracelet as an extension. Alright, so to figure out how many of each type of rubber band you're going to need to make this bracelet, about how many, just go down to the description. I think I'm going to put how many you need for each section of the bracelet. But yeah, so just go down to the description and use the pause button if you need to get your supplies. And yeah, so let's just go ahead and get started. Oh, rubber bands rolling everywhere. Oop. Yeah, that has never really been a good idea. I don't know why I keep doing that. Alright, so to begin, you're going to need one C color rubber band and your hook. You're not going to need your clip until the end, so just put that off to the side. And what we're going to do is we're going to first start by making the cap band. So to make the cap band, you're going to take your hook and this C color rubber band, put the C color rubber band on your hook, just like so, and then twist it while it's on your hook. Then put this new loop that's not on your hook on your hook. So the end you were holding with your fingers. So now you should have something like this on there. And now what we're going to do is we're actually going to start making the bracelet. So the pattern to make this bracelet starts as soon as you put the cap band on. So to make one little section of the bracelet, you're going to need 4 B color rubber bands. 3 A color rubber bands and 2 C color rubber bands. I probably should have went in order, so 3 A color rubber bands, 4 B color rubber bands, and 2 C color rubber bands. And I do believe I put that in the description. So, yeah, if you ever forget, just look in the description. Alright, so to begin, we're going to start with our C color rubber bands. And what we're going to do is we're going to take one of them, and we're just going to put it on the hook, just like so. Oh, that was not what's supposed to happen. And that wasn't supposed to happen either. Alright, hold up. Here we go. Okay, so you just put the C color rubber band on like so, and what you do at that point is slide all of the rubber bands that are on your hook currently onto this C color rubber band. And the only rubber band on your hook should be the cap band. Alright, now what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and put this other little loop here that you're holding with your fingers onto your hook. Just like that. And now what we're going to do is we're going to get the other C color rubber band, and we're just going to go ahead and put it on the actual hook part of our hook, just like that. Really easy. And we're just going to slide only this first loop here that's closest to the actual hook part of your hook onto this new rubber band. So this other loop here that is just sitting here on your hook, it's not actually, wait, hold on. So this other loop here, so you have two loops, as they call them. There's this side of the rubber band, and this side, you just slide the first one on. So your hook should look something like this. So now what you're going to do is go ahead and put the other end of the rubber band you're holding with your fingers onto your hook. And now you should have 3 loops on your hook. So 1, 2, 3. Alright, now we're going to start adding other rubber bands. And we're going to go ahead and add 2 of our A color rubber bands. So to start, we're going to take an A color rubber band, put it on our hook just like so, and slide only the first loop onto this A color rubber band, just like we did with the C color rubber band before. We're just going to slide one loop onto this new A color rubber band. Alright, then you're going to put the other end of the A color rubber band you're holding with your fingers onto your hook, and now you should have something like this. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take this loop, or not this loop, this whole A color rubber band that's on your hook off of your hook. But when you do not let go of it and lose it and make it like just come apart from your bracelet. When you take it off, instead you're going to either just attach a clip to it or just put it on a finger that you're not really using for anything except for holding your hook with. So I'm just going to put mine here on my finger. And what you're going to do is you're going to get your other A color rubber band, put it on the actual hook part of your hook just like that, and slide only this first loop that is on your hook now onto this new A color rubber band. And this can be a little bit tricky sometimes, but right, so I just got mine on. Alright, so once you get this loop on there, you're going to go ahead and put the other end of this A color rubber band you're holding back on your hook, or not back on your hook, but on your hook, and then the other loop is going to go, oh my gosh, I keep calling them loops. The other A color rubber band you had not on your hook, so attached to a clip or sitting on your finger, you're going to go ahead and put that back on your hook. And there must be a really big cloud in front of the sun, so I don't know what's going on there. But now, as you can see, if you just pull the rubber bands like this, you can already see the little heart on your hook, and that's what you just made, because that's what your A color rubber bands are. Now what we're going to do is we're going to add our B color rubber bands. So we're going to get 2 B color rubber bands to start. All of the B color rubber bands that we add are doubled, so that means we have 2 instead of 1. So what we do is we just take 2 B color rubber bands, put them on our hook just like all of our other rubber bands, and slide all of the A color rubber bands that are on our hook onto these 2 B color rubber bands. So not this C color rubber, or the C color loop here, just the B color bands. Or the A color rubber bands. Oh, Gosh, I almost called them the wrong thing. Alright, so once all of your A color rubber bands are here on these two B color bands, you can go ahead, put the other end of the B color rubber bands you're holding with your fingers onto your hook. Just like this. And now what we're going to do is we're going to flip the rubber bands around. So we're going to turn them around so that they're in the opposite order they're in now. So to do this, what we're going to do is you're just going to pinch the bands together, not too tightly, but just enough so that they won't come apart when you take them off of your hook. Then you turn them around, not your hook, just the bands, and put them back on your hook. So before I was holding the bands like this, now I've turned them around, and I'm putting them back on my hook. And there we go. Now we're going to add our other two B color rubber bands. So we just put them on our hook just like so, and slide this first loop, only the first loop, which should be a C color loop, onto these two B color bands. Like that. That's it for that. Now what you do is you just go ahead and put the other end of the B color rubber bands, the two that you are holding, back onto your hook. And there you go. Now what we're going to do is add the last rubber band we need for this section of the bracelet. And this is an A color rubber band, and what we do is we're going to put it going through these two center loops here. So even though our B color rubber bands are doubled, one loop is pretty much where the doubled rubber bands are together. So here on one side of this rubber band there's two B color bands, but there's still one loop because they're together. It's kind of hard to explain. So what you just do is you take the first two these first two B color rubber bands, so this first loop here, you're going to take it off and do the same thing you did with it that you did with the A color rubber bands you had before. So I'm just going to put mine here on my finger. So now you should have 6 rubber bands left on your hook. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So make sure that is true. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead, take this A color rubber band, put it on our hook, and then pull the first 4 rubber bands that are closest to the actual part of our hook onto this A color band. So these two here and these two here. So not the last two. Ugh, it's pretty difficult. Okay. So there's those two, and then I'm having issues. What? Okay, there we go. Then those two. So these last two loops here should not be on the A color rubber band. And once you get these loops, so these two middle loops onto this A color rubber band, you can go ahead, put the other side of the A color rubber band you're holding with your fingers back onto your hook, and then these two B color rubber bands you had on your fingers or on a clip back on your hook as well. And now you should have the first little section for your Intertwined Hearts bracelet. So that took a little bit long, like 10 minutes or something. That was a little bit too long. So I'm going to go ahead and actually show you how to continue making the bracelet one more time, and then I'm going to leave you to continue making the bracelet on your own. So you may want to pay attention, or a little bit closer attention, if you haven't been already, but hopefully you have. So anyway, to continue making your Intertwined Hearts bracelet, you will need 4 B color rubber bands, or start going in order, 3 A color rubber bands, 4 B color rubber bands, and 2 C color rubber bands. It's in the description if you didn't catch that. Alright, so to start, we start with our C color rubber bands. And we're going to start by placing one of them first And what we do is we just put it on the actual hook part of our hook, just one of them, and we slide all of the rubber bands that are on our hook right now onto the C color rubber band. So the first C color rubber band you add to your bracelet will have all of the rubber bands on your hook put on it. So all of these rubber bands from the previous heart. You just go ahead, put the other end of the C color rubber band back on your hook. Now what you're going to do is you're going to get the other C color rubber band, put it on your hook the same way, but just slide the first loop onto this C color rubber band. So as you can see here, we have two sections of the rubber band. We have this one and this one. Those are the loops. Only this first loop that's closest to the actual hook part of your hook gets put on, or slid on. So like that. Then you put the other end of the rubber band you're holding with your fingers onto your hook as well. Now we're going to add our A color rubber bands, and we're only going to add 2 right now. So the other one needs to stay off to the side. So we're going to add one A color rubber band first. We're just going to do the same exact thing we did with this C color rubber band. We're going to put it on the actual part of our hook, like all the other bands. Slide only the first loop, so only this first loop, onto the rubber band, a new rubber band. And this loop should be a C color rubber band. And what we're going to do is just go ahead and put the other end of the A color rubber band we're holding with our fingers back on our hook. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take this A color rubber band we just put on our hook off of our hook, but we're not going to remove it from our bracelet. What we're going to do is just take it off of our hook and either attach it to a clip or just put it on our finger. So we're just putting this rubber band off to the side for now. I'm going to go ahead and put this rubber band on my finger here that I'm not using. Alright, so now we only have these 2 loops here, these 2 C color loops. We're going to go ahead and take the other A color rubber band and add it the same exact way we did the first A color band. So we're going to put it on the actual part of our hook, like all the rubber bands, and slide only this first loop onto... Oh no. Hold on a moment. Technical difficulties. Alright, there we go. So we just slide this first loop here onto the A color rubber band. And this first loop should be a C color rubber band. So there we go. We should have something like this. It's probably a lot easier to do if this A color rubber band is attached to a clip, but I don't have an extra clip, so once you have that C color loop, the first one, there should still be one left. You're going to go ahead, take the other end of the A color rubber band, or loop, that you're holding with your fingers onto your hook, and this A color rubber band you had either on your fingers or on a clip, you're going to go ahead and put it on your hook as well. So it's going back on your hook. Alright, so there we go. So now you should see the first little heart already on your loom. So the second little heart actually, because we have one down here. What we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and now we're going to add out all of our B color rubber bands. Alright, so we're going to get 2 B color rubber bands at a time every time. And what we're going to do is we're going to take 2 B color rubber bands, put them both on the actual hook part of our hook, and slide all of the A color rubber bands that are on our hook onto these B color rubber bands. So all 4 loops. And then we should only have the C color loop left on our hook. Alright, so once you have this, you're going to go ahead and put the other end of the C color rubber band, or the B color rubber band, onto your hook. Now we have almost 1/2 of the big heart. Now we're going to need to flip the bands on our hook around, and to do this, we take the rubber bands that are on our hook and kind of pinch them together, not too much, just enough so that you can hold them. Then you're going to take them off of your hook and turn them around and slide your hook back through all of those rubber bands. Alright, now you're going to get your other 2 B color rubber bands, and what you're going to do is just go ahead and put them on the actual hook part of your hook like all of your rubber bands. Slide only the first loop onto these B color rubber bands, and that should be a C color loop there. Then you're going to go ahead, put the other end of the B color rubber bands you're holding with your fingers onto your hook. And now you should have 4 different loops on your hook. So each of the loops should be made of 2 rubber bands. So here's 1 loop, here's 2 loop, loop 3, and loop 4. Alright, so now what we're going to do is we're going to get our last A color rubber band we need to make this section of the Intertwined Hearts bracelet. And we're going to just go ahead, take this first loop, only this first loop, and the loops are made of 2 rubber bands like I just said, so the first 2 rubber bands here on our hook off. We can put them on a clip or on our finger. I'm putting mine on my finger. Then you just take the A color rubber band and slide only the first 2 loops, so the new first 2 loops, onto this rubber band. So these 2 here. Well, this is a challenge. Okay, there we go. So these 2 here, and then these 2 here. So not the last 2 B color rubber bands on your hook. Once you have these 4 B color rubber bands on this A color rubber band, we can put the other end of the A color rubber band we're holding with our fingers back on our hook. And then these 2 B color rubber bands we're holding on our fingers or on a clip, we can put them back on our hook like so. And then the pattern continues. So then you get 2 more C color rubber bands, 3 more A color bands, and 4 more B bands. But yeah, you just continue this pattern of adding and looming and holding and moving over and over until you make the bracelet long enough to fit around your wrist, or whoever's wrist you're making this for, if you're making this for someone. So yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and show you how you finish off your bracelet, because I don't edit my tutorials anymore. As you can tell, I messed up so many times. I'm not going to be fast forwarding, so I'm just going to go ahead and show you how you finish your bracelet off. So to finish your bracelet off, you will need a C color rubber band and your clip. And what you do is you take your, so just use the pause button if you need to, of course. So what you do is you take your C color rubber band, put it on the actual hook part of your hook, just like this. All of your rubber bands have been made or placed and added on like this. Then you just slide all of the rubber bands that are on your hook onto this new C color rubber band. It's kind of like you're starting over, making another section for your bracelet. So there. Once you've added that C color rubber band, you get your clip and attach it to this C color rubber band that's on your hook. Now, if you find out that you don't have enough of a certain kind of rubber band, or you just don't want to use too many, so you didn't make the the Intertwined Hearts bracelet long enough to fit around your wrist, you kind of just stopped halfway, what you would do is just continue by adding more C-color rubber bands and making them like an extension. And to make an extension, you would get another C-color rubber band, or whatever color you want to use. Put it on the actual part of your hook, and then slide whatever rubber bands are on your hook, which should be only this C-color rubber band we just added, onto that rubber band, and then you would just keep adding links to that. So here's what another link would look like. So you just keep adding links over and over until your bracelet was, or is, long enough. Alright, so you just get your clip and attach it to this C-color rubber band on your hook, and you might want to stretch the rubber band the best you can, because that makes adding or attaching your clip on much easier. Then you have your clip on one end of your bracelet. Make sure you take those rubber bands off your hook, because your hook's not a part of your bracelet, hopefully. Then what you do is you get your cap band and attach this clip to your cap band. And you may want to stretch the cap band out as much as possible, because that makes adding the clip on a lot easier. So there you go. And then your clip is attached to both ends of your bracelet, and then you can put your bracelet on and wear it. But this is not very long, so I'm just going to go ahead and put on this one that I already made. And I showed you before, so you just put on your bracelet, and bam, you have your bracelet, and yeah. So, I guess it's time to end this tutorial. So, I would like to thank you for watching my tutorial. Hopefully it showed you how to make the lovely, oh my gosh, I keep trying to call it the lovely link, the Intertwined Hearts bracelet long enough. Or, wait. What? Oh no, I just had a brain fart. Oh gosh. Oh, this has been a really bad tutorial. Okay, so hopefully it showed you, okay, now I remember. So hopefully this showed you how to make the lovely link bracelet successfully, and hopefully now you have your lovely, oh no, oh my. Wow, this has to be one of my worst tutorials. I am so sorry. All my other tutorials are not like this, I promise. Oh my gosh. Okay. So hopefully you made the bracelet successfully, and hopefully you weren't annoyed by how dumb I've been this whole tutorial. And I do apologize if you were, but sorry. Yeah, I just apologize. Okay. So hopefully you made the bracelet. Hopefully you're enjoying your bracelet, and yeah, that's pretty much it. I need to go do something else right now, because my brain is not functioning right now. So I'm just gonna go ahead and just say that that's pretty much all I have to say, other than thanks for watching and bye.